the fuck is wrong with you people? Hey guys, Hammerbeard here. I wanted to do a video on this whole Kesha rape trial. I mean, this is something that's really grinding my gears. It's just one of those things that have been going down like timber. It's going down. I'm yelling timber. So just for a quick little overview of this case, this is Kesha trying to get out of a deal with a producer named Dr. Luke, under the premise that she's been sexually abused by him. And this has gone all fannies up on social media because he's been cleared of that charge and she has to fulfill her contract. So let's look at some facts. When Kesha was 18, she was signed to Dr. Luke's label. She got well known for singing a hook on Right Round by Flo Rida. Don't know it, not a thug. It's not how I roll. But after that, she got a deal for 6 records. Now that's an important point to make. I know she was young, but this is a legal document. So we need to remember that in this whole thing. Now it has to be said that this was an incredibly restrictive contract. I mean, she couldn't work with anyone else. There's so many boundaries around it. But this isn't really atypical of, a young pop star. This is kind of what you sign up for when you try to be a pop star. And under the guidance of Dr. Luke, Kesha went on to record 2 really famous albums. I mean, you know all of the jams from it. Now, this has only gotten murky lately because Kesha wants to leave her contract halfway through it. And it's got even murkier with this whole sexual allegation thing. Piss off! Piss off! Now I want to show you something I think is very important, because in 2011 in a separate court case, Kesha, under oath, contradicted everything that is supposed to have happened in this trial.
Yeah, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear that the evidence you should give at this deposition shall be the truth, whole truth, and the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, is there any reason why your deposition cannot go forward at this time?
No.
Did you ever have an intimate relationship with Gottwald?
No. I don't know what my mother told to David. I know that Dr. Luke never made sexual advances at me.
Don't think that's enough. Here's her mum.
Were you ever told at any time prior to when you met with David for the first time that Luke had had a sexual relationship of any kind with your daughter?
No.
Had anyone told you that Gottwald had slipped Kesha a date rape drug?
No.
Now we've got those pesky things called facts out of the way, let's look at something way more interesting, and it's just how universally condemned this guy has been. Remember, this guy's gone to a court of law with an impartial judge who needs to ontologically look at the facts and come to an unbiased decision. Yet I bet you did exactly what I did and jumped on the Kesha bandwagon straight away. But then I just need to chill out. I sat down, had a lemonade, and looked at the facts. What is happening now is what Dr. Luke referred to as trial by Twitter. So this is, celebrities just, all women's voices should be heard, and, it just boils down to thinking tears seem to equate to more than evidence. Now that's not to say I don't think rape claims should be taken seriously. I mean, it is probably one of the worst crimes that could ever be committed. But it is equally as bad to accuse an innocent person of doing it. So when we come to the table with this, we need to legitimately look at the claim and see what evidence we can get. We can't just jump on the bandwagon because we're empathetic to it. So when Taylor Swift and her army of Twitter oracles seem to know more than an impartial judge, we need to be very skeptical. Let's just remember, she did sing. Don't stop! Now, since this whole rape thing is an allegation, let's look at some other plausible allegation. Potentially a young Kesha, at 18 signing a big deal thinking she's going to make it huge. Oh, that's a weird dick joke.
That's the way you said huge, because as soon as you said huge, I thought dick.
Yeah, that was my video woman. Maybe as a young 18-year-old, she thought this was going to skyrocket her to fame, and she didn't really read the clauses. Quite a, common thing in the pop world. And now that she's finally skyrocketed to her fame and she wants to do her own creative thing, she's locked into this contract. Do you think maybe it's plausible then that maybe as a young 18-year-old she either flaunted her sexuality to sort of further her career, or she may very well even have slept with him and now regretted it and called it rape? Now, I am in no way saying that's what happened, and, you know, I don't have any access to the facts, so there's no way I can actually say that. But what I've done there is an allegation, and you guys need to admit when you just jump on the Kesha bandwagon, that's exactly what you're doing. So the reason I wanted to jump on this is not because I care about Kesha and the pot world. It broadens down to a way more wider thing, is we're moving to this precedent that we just seem to want to believe rape claims because this idea that we've just terribled a woman. Now, I'm not denying, you know, in the past there's been grievous injustice against women. We actually have a really tried and true method, you know, for this, refined through 100 years of legal theory, and that's just having evidence. So before you jump on this emotional bandwagon and just want to condemn the guy, remember, you're playing with his life and you could potentially ruin him. So let's all just step back, look at facts, and just return to, like, evidence-based claims. That's all I want from you guys. I'm Hammerbeard. Have a fucking good night.
Don't stop, make it pop, DJ